I'm sitting here playing some games. This is on my mini PlayStation Mini, whatever it was called. I'm just throwing something up on the background here. But the whole point of this video is nostalgia. I've got a collection of consoles here that I do like to play. I've got my games up on the top, which I'm sure I'll put a B-roll scan footage of. But sometimes it's nice to just come back and play an old game. Nostalgia has a very important feel, this draw, pull on your emotions that can only be captured by revisiting it. Yes, we take some things and we feel nostalgia in some of the remakes and the newer games, but there is something different than just sitting down and playing a game. The footage I threw up before, Final Fantasy VII, just that opening scene, the length of time it took to get into that, the anticipation that had, is a very different experience compared to now we're jumping into a game and playing straight away. Metal Gear Solid up here. Another game that a lot of people would have fond memories of. It's going to be very different than when you play on a modern console. Things boot up quicker, you can modify it if it's on the computer, and it just has a different experience. When you emulate, you can also run it through some upscaling, you can run it through some speed enhancements and things like that. You can skip parts, you can have your save states. It's a very different experience. Today, I want to delve into that and explore what it is that makes nostalgia a big draw for gamers. This is going to be quite different to a lot of my other videos where I've either just been playing games or I've been opening up my cards and showing them to you, or I've just had a quick talk about a game. I've wanted to script a bit of this, I wanted to have a little bit of more ad-lib and just see where I go with it. Now, at the moment I'm sitting in my somewhat games room / storage room. I've got my guitars up on the wall there, my games around the ceiling. I've got my TV set up with all my older consoles. When I say old consoles, it's old, semi-modern, it's a mix of different things. I've got a Sega Mega Drive or Genesis, I've got my Nintendo 64, I've got a Wii, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii U, I've got my Nintendo Switch 1 in here now, which is a more recent addition, and I've got some of the mini consoles. I have the NES Mini, the SNES Mini, PlayStation Mini, the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive Mini, and I've also got the Japanese Famicom Mini. I would love to get some of the other ones as well for things that I don't necessarily have that much experience with in my past. Like there was a Commodore 64 one that I know you could get. I think there was a Sega Genesis and Mega Drive 2 that you could purchase. There was a few other ones like a PC Engine or TurboGrafx. There are a few things like that just draw people in to their memories, and it's something that I think we don't always understand, and I want to know what it is. What is that draw that brings us into those games? Is it the music? Is it the art style? Is it just the simplicity of some of the games? But also, games can be complex. I want to take you through my experiences. I want to show you some of the things. I've captured some B-roll of turning on consoles and getting into it that you'll see throughout this video, and I'm hoping you'll just enjoy. Now, there's a couple of things that make nostalgia great, and some of those things that we have for nostalgia are the physical, tactile feeling of a game, putting it into the console. It's no longer just this digital thing, this dots on a screen, but it's in your hand. You're holding it nice and firm. You've put that in place, ready to go. One of my favorite games during my teenage years is Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII on the PSP. Now, popping it in here, you've got your UMD going into the PSP, and it's a great experience. Now, I've had a few issues with my PSP recently with power not working properly and things like that, and I've had to buy a replacement battery just to get things working. So some of these games that I want to play, I've either had to emulate or I've had to actually look at finding different ways to do it, whether it's purchasing another copy in a digital format where you can, or example of Crisis Core, getting the remastered version where they change some of it a little bit to make it a little bit better to play, easier to play. I played that on PlayStation 5. Now I loved it, I enjoyed it, I've platinumed that game, I've talked about that on the channel before, but it's not the same as just grabbing your PSP and playing it. But like I said, that does come with some issues, battery issues for my PlayStation Portable. I have purchased a new battery recently because my first one kind of died. Now, I just went to turn this on and it's not working. So there's a few things. It could be water damage, maybe it's water damage, maybe it's just the physical degradation of the console, parts of it inside. These battery packs, this is not a genuine one because you can't easily buy genuine ones all the time. So finding different parts of the consoles, getting them to work, particularly the portable ones, can be difficult. Even with the ones plugged into your TV, you've got cables that break, you've got power bricks that won't work anymore, you've got connections that don't fit into your modern television, and that does put a little bit of a complication in between you playing. But when you do get it working, it works well. And there are a whole lot of things that people have done. There are different remakes of consoles, essentially. People have taken the concept of a console, they've pulled it apart, they've worked out how it works, and they've fabricated their own new consoles. Like the Retron series, you can play some of a lot of the cartridge games in the past through the Retrons, and it does make for a good experience. But playing on original hardware is always a different feeling than playing it on something that will emulate it, or something that uses a different controller, or something that just genuinely is not the same experience. I'm sure a lot of the games playing on PlayStation Portable won't feel the same unless I am playing it on my PlayStation Portable, my PSP. It's something I have enjoyed for such a long time, and I've got memories of it. But when I sit down to play some of these games on a newer console, I don't enjoy them the same. Now, there are a few things that come with nostalgia. The first is obviously playing those games and having those memories. But one thing that we often see is collections. I've got some of my PlayStation 4 games. I've got some of my 3DS games that are just down the bottom of the camera here. I've got Donkey Konga Bongo controllers here. I've got a Game Boy that doesn't work, but I want to try and see if I can get it working. I've got my Japanese 2DS controllers hanging ready to go. There's something about the collection that also adds to nostalgia. Having that physical item is something that brings joy to people. Now, is there a lack of convenience for this? Yes, of course. There is nothing better than just being able to turn something on and have it work straight away. You just saw me with my PSP. The battery went flat. I'm trying to work out about getting the proper batteries to work for it, but they don't always work. Some of these things don't work, and that takes away from the experience at times. It's important to try and find a way to enjoy these things that works for you. Now, a lot of people have transitioned to a digital era. I buy lots of digital games as well. I have a massive Steam library. I've started buying GOG games because I want the DRM free version of games. That's the problem with modern gaming at the moment. DRM, the copyright issue, manufacturers, producers, developers, all these people behind the scenes. You get your console ready to go, game in, online connection needed. Not connecting to a server. You can't play your game. In the modern era, it feels like people are stripping away the ability to play the games the way we want to, and to give us access to things we have paid money for. And that's where the nostalgia really comes in. I recently went shopping, and in Australia, I've always found it really hard to find a retro store, to go and buy retro games physically somewhere. I've always had to resort to eBay, or hopefully there's, savers, cash converters, something nearby that might have some games. They're always marked up, or just they don't have a good stock, because we don't have as big a trade or expo situation for retro gaming in Australia compared to America. Possibly compared to other countries as well. I'm not too sure about Europe, how that all works, but at least in Australia, we don't have the same scene that you see in America. I love watching these YouTube videos of people going retro game hunting, and they get to experience everything. The area I live, there's not really that much. But when I went shopping the other day, like I'm saying, I walked past 3 separate stores selling retro games. It's coming back. But why? Why is that coming back? Like I said, digital games accessible, but there's the servers. Let's have a chat about that. So, games are becoming more available in a physical retro setting in Australia. And I'm sure around the world we're seeing more and more of that. We can play our games now without the issue of availability, because they're becoming more frequent. eBay has done great for that. Online trading, wonderful. People have got access to these games. But why has that boomed again? And I think the biggest thing comes down to owning the game itself. Ownership. It's a big thing at the moment. We have governments, we have organizations around the world trying to strip away ownership and say, you've paid for a license. You get to use it how we say until we say it doesn't work anymore, or we're going to take that away from you. And you have to buy a new version. I found this to be a major issue with things that I use for myself with other programs and things like that. I used to use Adobe for a lot of my editing. I would not touch it now, except for the fact that I have an education license and it comes as part of my work laptop. So I use it when I'm at work for doing my media stuff that I'm working with students. But in my own setting at home, I wouldn't touch it, because they want to constantly charge you for a program that you should be able to just buy as a standalone program. And we're seeing that in the gaming industry as well. Things shifting to a subscription model and go, oh great, subscriptions are wonderful. You get so many games that you can access. But my PlayStation Plus subscription is coming up for a renewal, and they want $200 for the year to give me a couple of games that I most likely have already purchased on a discount years ago, and games that they'll rotate occasionally, and they suggest games or give games that are absolute utter crap. If I'm paying that money, don't hype up something like Dragon Age the Veilguard like it's the best thing that I can get with my subscription, when I can go online and see how terrible that game did, how terrible the quality of that game is compared to the old Dragon Age games. I'm going to go to my shelf and pick out an old Dragon Age game and play that, not this new modern stuff that's just full of politics and just pushing certain agendas. And by the time I get to have my escapism, I feel like I'm living in the real world when it's supposed to be fantasy. The cost and subscription basis to things is ruining video games. And that's why we're turning back to consoles of the past and enjoying retro games. So nostalgia is not just a thing that people of a previous generation are experiencing because they're sad, upset with the way that things are. It's something that we have because we're yearning for more. We want to be able to play games and enjoy games I've got my computer where I live stream, and I've got stuff set up ready to go so I can enjoy playing games, and I can stream things. I can get my Switch and I can plug that in and play it. But also, I do sometimes just want to sit down and play a game without having to deal with all of the hassle of the modern era when it's supposed to be convenient. They want you to believe that you don't get to own anything, and that is ruining a hobby that I love. Nostalgia. Let's embrace it. Let's enjoy these things of the past. There's a reason why all these older fogies tell you all the time about how good the past can be. I'm starting to do it myself. With my students, I'm teaching, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, and I tell them about things that I got to experience as a kid, and they're fascinated by it. They love hearing about it. When I tell them that as I grew up, I had a Game Boy. I'm like, what's a Game Boy? We look it up, we look at the console, and then they just get astounded by all this stuff. Nostalgia has a powerful pull on you. And if you're feeling it, embrace it. Don't push it away. Don't feel sad. Enjoy the things of the past that made you happy. But when you are trying to enjoy it, don't focus on the modern situation. You need to embrace it as it is in the past. You need to sit down with your actual consoles and play them. You need to embrace the way it was meant to be played. Now, you might not have a CRT TV, and that's fair enough. I understand that. I don't have one myself. If you've got a TV like this, plug stuff in. Do it. I've got my console set up there. I've got an Xbox, and I've got a PlayStation 5. I don't always have them on all the time, but when I get to enjoy all these games that I have up on my shelf, it just makes me happy that I can experience something from the past and know that whatever I end up doing, I always have my games here. I can always come back. It's like a little sanctuary. I can enjoy it. Look, thank you for listening to my little rant. It's not a normal video. It's something that I've felt more recently we're all talking about and wanting to experience and work out what's going on. There's the physical aspect with nostalgia. And I think that's the main thing. You've got to enjoy what you've got. And if you can physically buy something, you'll have a different experience than if it's just a digital game. There is fatigue that comes with having too many things. Physical items and digital. But the one thing I have found is that fatigue is a lot more prevalent with the digital era. When you can just scroll for days and days and days trying to find a game, you're less likely to play. It's the same as watching Netflix. You go on Netflix and you scroll and scroll and scroll. You never actually pick a show or movie to watch. And that's what I feel digital gaming can do sometimes. But in the end, everyone has their preference. If you prefer digital games, go for it. If you prefer physical games, go for it. Don't judge others based upon their decision to play the games they want to play. But just remember, digital games don't always last. Physical games can have their own damage. We want to embrace what we've got now. We want to remember things from the past. And I think the best thing that we can do is we can archive these things. Yes, emulators aren't perfect, but if we can have a form of emulation for these games and people can experience them because they weren't around at the time, maybe that's something that the world should embrace and look at preserving these things for future generations. Okay, so I'm recording this using a different camera, just in the front room where I normally sort of live streaming that from. I charged up my PSP after I made the video, or most of the video, and just wanted to go over this part here where I sort of go into the game like I was trying to. If it's gonna load, come on. Here we go. So, I just wanted to sort of show the main part here. Volume, let's get the volume all the way up. Yeah, launching a game on the PSP. Just try and get that volume up. Because it takes time. Like, it's not quick. You can hear the disc spinning, and this is all part of that experience. So, just wanted to throw that in here at the end. And yeah, like I said, one of my favorite games, Final Fantasy, Crisis Core. It was the anniversary as well. Like, you know, hear that? Is my brightness up? Who knows? You know, it was something. And yeah. Anyway, that is literally all I wanted to talk about right there, and I couldn't do it during the video because the battery wasn't working, and I fixed it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please hit that like button, consider subscribing, and yeah, please stick around because I'm hoping to create more and more of these sort of talks or discussions, whatever you want to call it, my gameplay videos, reviews. I've got a lot going on that I want to talk about, and I've enjoyed getting back into video creation this year. I've been doing the Pack a Day series where I'm opening a booster pack a day, and then I've started my little retro review sort of YouTube shorts, minute-long reviews, and I'm really enjoying that. So I'm hoping that everyone will love to stick around and just have a discussion. Criticize my videos, I don't care. Tell me what I did wrong, tell me what I need to improve on. But I think the main thing for me in the end is that I love video games. It's one of my passions. It's something I'm very excited about getting into and playing all the time, and finding different games to play, revisiting older games that I want more experiences with. And I think sometimes I just get caught up with the modern era of video games. Strive for more frames per second, more power, more graphical output, and I don't get the same joy that I used to when I sat down and played a game. And that's where nostalgia comes in, and I've worked out, sit down and play a game the way it was intended. Sit down and remove the other parts of your life. Just enjoy that game in that moment, and it will make it a very different experience. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.